Being John Malkovich turns 20 this year, and keeping up with 1999 movies that turned 20, I figured why not review this because today it turns 20 years old. Being John Malkovich is about a puppeteer that discovers a portal that leads inside the head of John Malkovich. I didn't know that premise going into this movie. In fact, fun little exposition story. So, when I was in high school, junior year of high school, that was when I first heard about this movie. I saw the poster of like 100 John Malkoviches, and my one teacher was saying how it was one of the worst movies she's ever seen. It was way too weird and it was stupid. Flash forward a year or so later, I was working at a gas station at that time, and I was telling my one coworker about how being John Malkovich was like next on my list because at that point in my life, I saw the movie Her, directed by Spike Jonze, both directed that movie, and I was like, yeah, being John Malkovich. I was like, I want to watch it to my coworker, and someone overheard me say that, and he was like, it was the worst movie I've ever seen. It's trash, and I literally turned to my coworker and I was like, well, I know what I'm watching tonight. And it's not because two people told me it was a bad movie that I decided to watch it. It was that two people that, in my eyes, again, this is going to sound really pretentious, but in my eyes, two basic moviegoers told me it was the worst movie ever. And during my experiences during this time period, and even now, when an average person says that, I usually love it because I'm all about directors and writers going for it, having ambitious storytelling, not cookie cutter, characters and cookie cutter storytelling. Like, that's not me. It's not me. I understand that other audiences are like that, but that's not me. So to watch Being John Malkovich, let me tell you, I love this movie. This movie is fantastic. Easily one of the best movies of 1999 and the 90s in general. I mean, this movie, for me personally, I love it because it's very funny, but the drama also works really well. I mean, the drama is John Cusack plays the lead character of Craig Schwartz, and his spouse, Cameron Diaz, is also in it, and she's great as well. Catherine Keener is incredible as well. She plays the love interest of Craig Schwartz. And then you have, of course, John Malkovich in a very meta role. I mean, he's incredible, and he gives some of the best scenes in the movie. Like the Malkovich scene. I mean, there were just so many iconic scenes in this movie, and it's just written with such ease by Charlie Kaufman. I mean, Charlie Kaufman's a genius writer. I've seen pretty much all of his work, but this movie always stands out as me because there's nothing like this movie. Yes, you can say, oh, well, just like other 1999 movies, it's about a guy that works 9 to 5 jobs and he's unfulfilled. But what it does with that, kind of like American Beauty, it just changes that. It just makes it so much more than what you think it's going to go to be. Because this movie is a comedy, but it's also a fantasy and a drama. And it works so well because you really get to know and care about the characters and what they're going through. Now, at the same time, you can say that you might not like some of the characters, but other characters with what they go through, it's very interesting. I mean, this film deals with homosexuality and wanting to be a transgender in very unique ways, especially for this time period. 20 years later, it holds up. In my opinion, I think it really does hold up. And you can show this to someone that's never seen it before. And if they're able to appreciate, just throwing it out there, if they're able to appreciate unique and original films, they'll notice that it does hold up, I think at least. And also this movie with its unpredictability, I mean, halfway through the movie, the first time I saw it, I was like, I have no clue where this is going. And I love that. This is one of the movies that changed, for me personally, what it was like to be a moviegoer because it made me realize, one of the first indications at least, I'm not like the average moviegoer. I don't want the same things that other people know. I know I said that earlier in the interview, but it's the truth. And this movie, it showed me that. It really did affect me. And I've mentioned the storytelling, I've mentioned the character development, I haven't even mentioned the technical aspects. I mean, don't pick up the DVD for this movie because the DVD doesn't really do it justice. I would say pick up the Criterion Collection Blu-ray. And I know it's like a promotion for Criterion, but why not? They're an awesome company. But the Criterion for this really does give the cinematography justice. The cinematography is really good. It's very dark, but it's very symbolic at the same time. I'm not going to get into that because this is just a review of it turning 20, and I want to make sure there's no spoilers. But also the score by Carter Burwell is very, very melancholy. It's very interesting. I like it a lot. And the sound design is also very unique, especially with when they go into the portal of John Malkovich. The visual style is also very unique. and I really dug the dialogue. I mentioned Charlie Kaufman's script, but just everything about this film just comes together, and it makes a seamless 112 minutes go by really fast. And originally, when I saw this movie, I gave it a 4.75 to 5-star rating, but the more I think about it, and the more I just kind of realize not only has it changed me as a moviegoer, but like I can rewatch this movie anytime. This is one of my go-to movies during movie nights and just in general to show people that haven't seen it. This is one of my go-to movies because if you're open-minded and you haven't seen this movie before, you are in for a treat. You are in for a lot of surprises. You are in for a very impactful ending and a movie that was ahead of its time. And that's why Being John Malkovich, for me personally, I'm giving it a 5 and a 5-star rating. No question about it. And that's why it gets the good old Scorpion Ghost Pepper rating. Ghost Pepper rating, for those who don't know, I don't give it out that much. I really don't. If you get a 5 and a 5-star rating, it means it's doing something right. But guys, Being John Malkovich, what did you think about it? Was it too strange for you? I'm assuming unless you looked up Being John Malkovich review on YouTube, it's probably too strange for you. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on this movie. Has it aged well in your opinion? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. With subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.